want to meet you. I want to meet the you inside of you. The you inside of you that will not be denied. The overlooked you, the disrespected you. The you inside of you, the overcomer you. The refuse to quit you, the in spite of you, the against all odds you, the even though I'm sick, I go anyway you, the knock down you, but the get back up you. All I'm trying to say is I want to meet the awesome you.
Be awesome.
You know you're awesome.
You're awesome.
Yeah, you.
Be awesome.
You're fearfully and wonderfully made.
Awesome.
God makes no mistakes.
Be awesome.
You're awesome.
You're awesome.
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Be awesome.
You're awesome.
You're awesome. Yeah.
I want to talk to you that woke up in the morning to get at you. The you inside of you that believes that anything less than awesome is an insult to our Creator. The world needs you to be awesome. The enemy needs to know that you are awesome. I want to talk to you because you need to be awesome. Yeah.
Be awesome.
So pull back the curtain.
You're awesome.
Hello, world.
Be awesome.
Repeat after me. It's me unapologetically. Cause I'm awesome. He woke me up this morning.
You're awesome.
Started me on my way.
Be awesome.
Be awesome.
You're awesome.
Look in the mirror, what did I see? My great God keeps blessing me.
So awesome.
I'm awesome. Awesome, 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 awesome.
Awesome. And you're nothing less
You're awesome.
than awesome.
You're awesome. Awesome. Awesome, 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 awesome.
Be awesome. So awesome. Yeah. So awesome. Be awesome.
Check it out. When I look in the mirror, what do I see? My great God keeps blessing me. My great God keeps blessing me. That makes me awesome. On your job, be awesome. In your school, be awesome. In your church, be awesome. Be awesome. Be awesome. No matter what you look like, just be awesome. Working from the inside out. Put a smile on your face. God woke you up this morning. That ought to be enough to make you get up and smile. Say, hello, world. I'm awesome. Yes, it is. I'm awesome. No matter what nobody else thinks. I'm awesome. Yes, sir, I'm awesome. I'm awesome. I'm awesome. Yes, sir, I'm awesome. You ought to go to your job and tell them, I'm awesome. Yeah, I'm awesome. 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 Awesome.
Oh, yes, you are.
W-E-S-O-M-E. Say it. A-W-E-S-O-M-E.
Check it.
A-W-E-S-O-M-E. Say it. A-W-E-S-O-M-E.
I am A-W-E-S-O-M-E. Yes, sir, I'm A-W-E-S-O-M-E. Yeah, A-W-E-S-O-M-E. Check it out.
A-W-E-S-O-M-E. Say it. A-W-E-S-O-M-E.
Greetings and good morning, entrepreneurs and kingdompreneurs. This is Darrell Sheila, part of the KingCast Network. Just wanted to connect with you this morning. I hope you're ready to ignite your engines. You are in the right place and the right space. This morning, we are going to bring to you a dynamic interview from Michelle Harden, the brand master herself, along with an amazing guest this morning. So I have one announcement that I wanted to get out to you. We are starting Mentor Me on Monday, July 5th. We are starting the Mentor Me platform that's actually going to be coaching, developed, and strategically set up to help you actually focus on your mindset, having the proper motivation, and literally actually setting you up to monetize your digital content on a whole different platform. So we are excited to connect with you. I hope you sit back, relax, and enjoy the brand master, Miss Michelle Harden herself, and her dynamic guest that's going to be able to bless you this morning. Thanks so much.
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning to you. And thank you so much for joining Ask the Brand Master. We're here again to share some great information to help you propel yourself to the next place in your life, whether it's your business, your ministry, wherever you are in life. We want to make sure that we're bringing you great content so that you can be a better you. You know, I have had the privilege of having so many guests on the show thus far who have told us a lot of things, from six figures to grants to so many great things. And we want to continue this conversation in helping all of us to be better kingdompreneurs, if you will. And so today is in the continued process of that. And before I get started, I just want to tell you guys right now, you're watching us live on YouTube, Facebook, or maybe you on our platform, KingCast. Go ahead and like and share. When you like and share, you're giving somebody else an opportunity to receive great information and content as well. Today, grab your pen. Grab your pad or your digital device. You want to make sure that you're ready to take copious notes so that you can go back and reflect on what you've heard today. You know, they say that when you write it, it's inscribed into your memory bank. So you definitely want to make sure that you're prepared, because my guest on today, I'm telling you, we're getting ready to take an amazing, amazing journey in understanding this new era, which some of us are experiencing, and then understanding what others have been in for such a long time, this digital space, the digital transformation. We're talking about you must be born again. I want you to help me welcome right now. Put the hands, the claps, the thumbs up, the hearts, all of that. I want to see that going on in the chat. I want you to help me welcome my guest, none other than Mr. Morris Parsons. Mr. Parsons, how are you this morning?
I'm absolutely doing well this morning, Michelle. How are you this morning in
I
the
am doing
Kingcast family?
absolutely phenomenal. You know, I am excited and stoked anytime I can be a student, to hear and to listen and to glean to what you have to say. You have years of experience from military and just from work experience. I want you to share the backdrop, because I don't want to take anything for granted of the level of your experience. I want you to share on a blank canvas this morning, who is Mr. Morris Parsons?
Well, I'm the son, third born of Eltha and Willie Parsons out of Mobile, Alabama, raised in the great city of Mobile in the community of Trinity Gardens. There went to Blount High School, went on to go to the United States military, where I had a great time there in the military, working with our nuclear systems and working with air defense artillery, and as an operator of the Nike Hercules missile system, radar system. So I have that formal training. Then I came away from that. I had an opportunity to travel doing audio with a production company out of Providence, Rhode Island, Soundstage Productions. Mr. Dennis Verducci, the owner of the company, got a chance to travel and do some amazing things, meet some amazing people in that journey. Found myself moving to Houston, Texas, and there began the journey of where we are now with Whole Nine Yards Productions, had an opportunity to really look at where we were in this whole space of using uh, audio and media to communicate effectively in the social world, in the secular environment, before I came over to the kingdom. And
Yeah.
so got some years and experience in touching bases with this thing that we're in now, and there's no way that we can go back now. There's no turning back. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. It's out, and you might as well embrace it. And if you don't embrace it, it will mishandle you.
Wow, it will overtake you, and that's what going back and just thinking about digital space when some of us were first introduced with the MySpace and I think it was the AIM, the instant chatting, all that going back. So I know it existed way back then. Even as you were in the military, you experienced some. Being able to utilize digital resources and things then. When we talk about these different industries and being the expert in your industry, there are a lot of people, Morris, when we look at what you do, there are a lot of people that do what you do. They're audio specialists, engineers, they working at different ministries. But what makes you the authority and the expert in this industry? Because you are that.
Well, thank you for humoring me. Well, here what I believe, just having the understanding of the use of technology or use of media equipment doesn't give you the ability to deal with people.
Wow.
The expert can be comfortable dealing with the technical as well as dealing with the tactical, dealing with the people side. And you have to be able to balance both of them in order to be effective in this world that we live in, because things are so sterile. You send a text, it doesn't carry emotions, and people
Yes,
misread what you text, and
exactly.
so you have to learn how to navigate that. Being an expert doesn't mean that you are absolutely the best. It means that you've put in the time to understand the working dynamics of that discipline. And so that's where we are as it relates to that.
Yes, so humbly placed. I know anytime that I'm in a media challenge and I pick up the phone, the way that you walk a person through how to fix a problem or troubleshooting, I believe that's a gift. The knowledge that you have, the knowledge base of even knowing and not even being there, you can kind of know what the problem is before the person tell you. Say, "Oh, it's that." That comes from years of experience. Before we get into what we're talking about today, digital transformation, what inspired you to stay in this field, to remain in this field as relates to in the kingdom? What gave you the motivation that this is where you need to be at this particular time?
Well, let me take you back to Trinity Garden, to my mom and dad's house. So that's going to give some clarity to who I am, the makeup of me. I can remember my mom then would buy toys for Christmas for us, and they bought this toy. It was the Operation game, and every time
Yes.
you would take the little tweezers and try to take the bone or whatever it was out, if you touched the side, the light would go off and the buzzer would stop. And that just amazed me. And so I had to take it apart to find out what is that make this thing do that. And so I would take it apart. My dad walked in and said, "Boy, you tear up everything." But I remember my mom saying, "Willie, leave him alone. He always puts it back together."
Wow.
And because I'd take the radio apart. I take it. You leave it in front of me, I'm going to take it apart. And because I wanted to know how it worked. And all my life, I've always wanted to know how it worked, not just that it worked or how to work it. I wanted to know deeper. How did it work? The process of making it do what it do. And so that's always been me. So I have this one rule, and my wife uses it even on her job. Well, when she was working, she now got another job. Nothing. The system that I use is so simple, and anyone can do it if they would just stop for a moment. It's signal flow. Everything starts from a place and goes to a place. And
Yes.
wherever that change takes place, there you find the problem. It's just that simple. It's signal flow. It starts at one place, the source, and it goes has a destination that it's going to. If it should stop or change, wherever that stop and change take place, fix that, you fix the problem. So
Yeah.
that's why it sounds like I'm always there with you, because I listen to what you say,
Yeah.
listen to what you're wanting to accomplish. Then I work backwards from the output towards the input side. And wherever
Yeah.
I find the challenge, I fix the challenge, I fix the problem.
Wow. And that explains it because, anytime you can understand what a problem is and give a solution, it means that you come from a place of understanding how to do those type of troubleshoots, and signal flow is definitely a great model or initiative to start in that particular vein. I want to go to now. Normally, when I have my guests on, I already know basically what their background is and kind of where their sweet spot, secret sauce that they have to give and to bless the people. I want to talk about, you named this digital transformation. Let's deal with that part first. Digital transformation. What does that mean to you?
To me, it was several phases of transformation. Where you can be transformed from the position of where you are to a new position. So to be transformed is from my perspective, is actually being able to understand that where I am now, in order to get to that new place, I have to make some adjustments in my physical and mental positioning to be able to get there. And that's where we are in this environment that we're in. We find ourselves now in a position to where we have to transform how we think. If we don't transform how we think, we will be left behind. There's a saying, Earl Carnegie, Andrew Carnegie, exactly, says that in the time of change, the learner will inherit the earth, while the learned will inherit the world that no longer exists.
Wow.
So that
Wow.
if you say that I've learned it all and you stop, the
Yeah.
world that you inherit will no longer exist. But the learner is ever in an evolution of learning, so that they will transform and adapt to the changing world that they find themselves in. Therefore, they can inherit that world.
Yeah, and we do see that the digital space is moving, and it's not just moving, but it's like the speed train that
Oh,
they have
yeah.
developed. The speed train, it's going very fast. So people of the past era, how do they keep up? What do you suggest that they do to continue to move forward and learn what they can learn to participate in this new era?
Well, you have to be adaptable.
Hmm.
You have more available to you than you realize. A
Hmm.
lot of times we don't see the connectivity because we tell them to go outside and play. We
Yeah.
send them to their room, and we separate from them. But they're really following the protocol that is in Scripture. Say, a little child shall lead them.
Yes.
And so this is kingdom, so we can go there.
Yes. Yes.
So if we understand that the mindset of a child that has no barriers, no boundaries, they don't understand limits. So they believe if they get it, they can do it.
Yes.
They are our help. They are our example. I'm gonna give you this example. It was happened to me, and I got to share this. So I just come back from South Carolina with my daughter and my grandson, and I'm with my 7-year-old grandson, and he makes this profound statement to me.
Hmm.
He says, when he was little, he was already doing that,
Wow.
and so I'm puzzled at this point. I'm looked at him, I'm looking, and then I said, Mikey, you do know you're 7, right? Because you just told me when you were little,
When you was little, yeah.
you were doing that. So we're talking about coding
Hmm.
at
Wow.
5 years old.
Wow.
And so he told, and so I can't code. I understand what it is, but he shared it with such confidence. And so what your question was, how do people that of the seasoned years make the adjustments? They keep
Yes.
little folks like him around because they
Yes.
will stretch your imagination. They will let you see what is possible. They will give you the ability to see that this thing that you have in your hand, you're just making phone calls with, it's really a computer. It has great capabilities if you know how to use what's inside of it. And so the
Yes.
little child shall lead them. It's how
Yes.
that will never jump.
Get in there. We're coming to, being born again. You must be
Yeah.
born again. Before we get there, I want you to address what we've seen in the digital space, in the church, kingdom, communication, digital content, how we've seen that disseminated. Can you speak to, how you've seen us use this digital space? Have we been using it properly with messages, with sharing the gospel, with sharing our ideas? Have we really taken full advantage of what is before us?
Well, Michelle, we've only scratched the surface. We've only scratched the surface. There's so much more to be mined in that minefield of technology that we really just scratched the surface. I remember back in 2007, I was working for a very prominent ministry, and I made a statement that time that got me looked at like I had lost my mind and that I had two heads. I said, there's coming a time very soon that we will be communicating across these things that we're now using to talk on. We'll
Yes.
talk to each other. We'll stream video. And I got looked at. So that pushed me to write a business plan that
Okay.
I still hold now today.
Yes.
That proved the fact that even back then I understood that if we're going to move forward at the pace that the world is moving, we have to make some adjustment. So as it relates to the church, we were very, very far behind in
Yes.
the use of technology, very far behind. Matter of fact, because I do consultation with churches, most churches will have their business meeting and meet with the architectural designers and all of that, and the plumbers and the pipe fitters and the sheetrock. They never met with the media people. Never. We get the building all built and all up, and then they call me and say, I want to do this. I'm like, you got walls up now. You got ceilings in. Why didn't you call me on the planning stage? We could have saved you thousands of dollars by putting the infrastructure in first. You can
Wow.
always come and put the equipment on the back end later, but
Yeah.
do the infrastructure. So the church got behind on that. But then the pandemic happened.
Yes.
The pandemic exposed what had been covered up for so long. It exposed how far we were behind because everybody was scrambling trying to get a live video from their pulpit. So you had pastors going live on their cell phone talking about, we still here, we still the church, can you come and get cash at me this? No, I ain't doing none of that because you had time to plan.
Wow.
The prior planning should not constitute an emergency on my part. So therefore, I charge you more for the inconvenience that you're causing me to have to work harder to be able to get a wire and a camera up to be able to get a picture out of your sanctuary to the people you say you serve. I'm sorry, but
I'm gonna let that settle right there.
it's a little raw, but it's real.
But it's real that we have to be more prepared for ahead. We're the church, we should be leading. And so I posed a question yesterday, last night on a live. What happens if another pandemic hits? Are we ready? Because it seems as though we're looking at that it's over and we're returning back into the same norm that we actually left. We're not getting to the new norm or creating the new norm, creating something different in the digital space that has so many opportunities. Let's go ahead and talk about that. You must be born again. Let's talk about that.
Woo!
I'm ready.
My. When the Spirit of God laid this on me as we were talking about this, and I told you, give me a moment, let me hear what
Yes.
the Spirit says in
Yes.
reference to this conversation. How do we share this information to the audience? And you must be born again. We're taking it from the backdrop of Jesus' conversation with Nicodemus. Nicodemus been a ruler. He had all of these things working for pastors, being the pastors. They got all these things. They run their churches and they do all this. But in order for you to inherit the kingdom that's available to you now, you must be born again. I don't care how old you are, how long you've been at a church for 140 plus years. It doesn't matter. That has zero to do with you inheriting the kingdom that's available to you now in the digital domain. What you used to do, forget it. Doesn't work. The only thing that's going to work is you preaching the Bible like it's written across this platform. All the other stuff that you used to do. Matter of fact, Michelle, let me share this with you. We're still in a pandemic. Even when we have 100% vaccination rate and all of that, the mindset of the people have not changed, will not go back to what it was.
Wow.
The panoramic view that they have now of this epidemic relationship that they have called the church, they will look at this thing differently from now on. They won't see it the same.
Yeah.
Here it is as we relate to digital maturity. They have changed convenience for control.
Wow.
So I want it convenient, but I've lost control. And we'll talk about how that plays out in the overall marketplace. But when you think about how people used to get up in the morning, on Sunday morning, get dressed and go to a place of worship to sit and congregate with other people, and they are there in one place. That's the model that's not coming back. People will still come together, churches and people will still have that, but the fellowship has shifted to a digital fellowship. People are communicating and amen and then showing themselves running. People that didn't used to run in church are running online. People that would never clap their hands in church are clapping online. People that would never say amen in church are saying amen online. The transformation has taken place. It's done. This thing is moving towards, and when we understand it for what it really is, we won't fight against it. We'll embrace it and maximize it to continue to spread the kingdom. We've said that this gospel will be preached all over the world to every tongue and every kindred. How was it going to happen without the digital transformation?
Wow.
It wasn't going to happen. It was going to happen as a result of this movement. This didn't catch Jesus by surprise. That's why he told Nicodemus, the way you've been doing it, how you know it as a leader, as a ruler, how you've been doing it in order to get to this new place that I'm bringing. You got to be born again. The what you think about, how you think about it, who you connected with won't get you to this new place. I read the book by Marshall Glasper says, what got you here won't get you there.
Won't get you there.
So if you're looking to move forward into this new realm of possibilities, what got you here won't get you there. You have to be born again. You have to think differently than you've thought before. That brings us to the age of digital maturity. How does your company look as it relates to its growing up in this digital space that we're in? What does it look like for your company? Does your company have a competitive edge, or are you lagging behind? Even if you're lagging behind, there's help. You can get better. You can get better. You can do more than you're doing today, tomorrow. But it requires your participation with the technology that allow you to happen. How many people, when they first, you remember AOL, you got mail. Everybody knew you had mail. Now you get a little ding on your phone, and if you turn that off, you don't even get that.
Your notification.
Yeah.
You said something that I really want to focus on right now. I got to download. The download says, and I want you to speak to this, the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just. Here's where I'm going with that. Many times we relate that to money, right? We relate that to wealth, money. But I have the thought, the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just. So with that being said, I think about, and I'm not calling these people wicked, right? But I think about the brainiacs behind the development of YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of the creators behind these platforms, and they have innovated this space for us to come in and to share a message, to whatever that message is, whether it's the gospel, whether it's digital content. We look at the wealth being the money part of it, but it's also the wealth of an opportunity that I think we bypass, and we don't see that this opportunity to be in this digital space that none of us came up with. Even after MySpace, it should have been some inspiration of us coming up with the kingdom, coming up with such a model to communicate universally with the world. How does that statement resonate with you and what you've seen, and how we can participate?
Well, let me say this. The wealth transfer had to have a vehicle in order to make that happen. Now,
Yes.
Kingcast is that current vehicle for the kingdom. Let me say that parenthetically, that you ought to connect with Kingcast.
Yes.
Now listen. We always know we got some haters and some
Sure.
people out there that say, "Well, why them?" Well, because God chose them. They
Yes.
ain't had nothing to do with you. Don't be getting in a fight with a fight you can't win. Jump on the winning side.
Come
The
on.
train has left the station. Go ahead on and connect with it and enjoy the ride. There's opportunity there. So the wealth transfer takes place as a result of us embracing the current vehicles that's used for transfer.
Yes.
You have to have that. You have to the be able to control your car from wherever you are. They turn the car. They showed the picture on start talking to them from space and telling them where they are. That is a vehicle that's available. That's a highway, a pathway, if you would, to connect. We have to connect with what God is using to make the transfer. You you will benefit by being a part of the transfer. They laughed at Bill Gates and all of those. They laughed at him. These kids playing in garages and creating stuff, and all of a sudden now they're making money off of us. They're making money right now
Right now.
off
Right.
of us. While we sleep, while we walk, whatever we're doing, if we're using one of these digital devices, using the software, they are making money off of that. They're selling that. What the kingdom has refused to do is to make the shift. When the shift was presented, we run it out. That's why so many of the great gospel talents, vocalists and artists and all of the, because we didn't make room for them in the kingdom, the platform.
Yes.
We didn't make room for it in the kingdom. We have to do that. And so we fight against all of the things that we ought to be embracing, because it would help us to be able to move forward. There's opportunity in the community for us to be able to maximize. Why don't we have our own technology development centers?
Yes. Come on. Come
Why
on.
we don't have that? Why we don't have? And I work currently my day job. I work for a school system. And my responsibility is to make sure that they can stay on schedule, that they can communicate, they can do all those things. But I get a chance to be in all of the schools, our school, and I see the kids in the school sitting at their desk. They're giving the books away. The books they're giving away, the hard paper book, they're giving them away, but they're giving them Chromebooks.
Yes.
All of the libraries of the world own the Chromebooks.
Wow.
Now the kids are sitting there, traveling the world, sitting in their classroom, having a discussion on their Prometheum smart boards in their classroom, seeing people from all over the world. That wealth transfer is taking place right now, but it's taking place with a generation that's 6, 7 years old.
Wow.
They're embracing it now. The knowledge that they have. So in order for us to make the connection with it so that we can use it in the time that we have left, we have to embrace the one that have the mindset that's not bias. It's clear open slate for God to pour into them all of the information that they need. Their paradigm is only affected by the things that they're exposed to now. And if we keep them around us, our paradigm will shift. And if
Yes.
our paradigm shift with all of the other historical experiences that we have, we can help them move forward exponentially. We can accelerate this whole wealth transfer. We can have 9-year-old kids owning corporations. Yeah, because we know how to set it up. They don't know how to, but they know how to do the deal now.
That's it. That's
They
it.
know how to make it, put it together, because that's all they know. They were born digital. They're born digital, digital natives. That means that people that were born after 1980, they don't know anything but digital. They don't know don't know nothing else. But what we know is the experience of the analog world. The value of being able to move through that way and look at it and say, well, if I take this knowledge that I have and put it over here in this jet technology, I can move faster. I can get there immediately. So that we take the young people and we put them in and we just let them go. And then we ask them probing question that will allow us, well, okay, well, so that's what they like. I didn't know what they were doing. I thought they were just doing. They sitting in the room with me, they just finger just moving. I don't know what they're doing. They're writing code right in front of us and we don't even know it. They're multitasking at a rate that will just baffles us. We tell them to sit down and be quiet. They say we are quiet. Yeah, they are doing all of these things. So they put another demand on our what we call being an adult. Being an adult doesn't make you right all the time. And
Yes.
so in order for the wealth transfer to take place, not do as I say. Let me see what you're doing, and then let's make it work for the
Yeah.
better for all of us. Because you're doing some things that's working for you. They're smarter than we are. They've been exposed to so much more. And that's why KingCast is so important.
Yes.
KingCast. Let me put this out there, because somebody's on here right now. I know a young man that's on here right now. And I'm not gonna call his name, but he works in the area of technology. He's been crying for opportunities to do what we're doing right now. He's been streaming it, screaming it, and everybody's making excuses. And when he get to the table, they don't give him opportunity. So here on KingCast, the ability to be able to have your own network and
Yes.
teach people what you know, my brother, on this platform, to remove the barriers and expand the opportunity for others that have the same passion and the same desire that you have. Let's connect with KingCast. Go ahead and message KingCast now. You know who you are. You know I'm talking to. You know I'm talking. I see your name up there. Yeah, I know you. You got great ideas and all. I know you got them. Come on with them. Bring them to KingCast and let God amplify the wisdom that he put in you. Wealth transfer.
Yeah, I'm glad you spoke to that, because my next question for you is, and we have this time with you, so we can ask you questions normally that you use for consultations and things like that. But I want you to help us understand what this really means, what you just shared with the gentleman, for artists, for speakers, for pastors. Their traditional way of making their living and their income was getting on a plane, and I'm gonna take you on a trip. First, they get the appointment. They know this date on this weekend. They have to go speak, sing, or act, whatever they have to do. Pack your clothes, get your children with a babysitter, make sure everything at home is good. Go get on a plane, and then take this 4-hour trip on a plane if it's long distance or out of the country. Go to perform for a one-time payment, right? So in the digital space, how is it giving us an opportunity to not travel as much, but to monetize our gifts and our talents, and to make it on a residual basis? Paint the picture for us.
Well,
Because that's what they're going back to. I mean, they're trying to say, okay, we back out, the pandemic is over, we're ready to fly, we're ready to come to a city near you. So that's what they're going back to, but they really don't have to.
they
So
don't have to.
help them right
They
now.
don't have to. I remember back. Let me give you how right you are. I remember back in 2004. I was tasked with putting together a kingdom share-a-thon.
Wow.
And so we're gonna do that too. But I just wanted to throw that in there. But I've done it before, so I know how it works.
Okay.
And so I was sitting in the room with this very prominent bishop, and he said, "I want to do this." He said, "If Jerry Lewis do it, why we can't do it?"
Come on.
I said, "Well, we can do it." He said, "Put it together. Tell me what it's going to take to make it happen." I put it together, sit down with my team. We put it together, and we made it happen. We made it happen. And one day, it had never been done. One day, we raised $3 million
Wow.
through a kingdom share-a-thon.
Come on.
One day. Here's how we did it. He was on his stage in Houston, Texas,
Yes.
with all of his members in his congregation. There was another church in another city with all of their members in one place. There was another church in Houston with all of their members in one place.
In one
There was
place.
another church in another city in Texas, with all of their members in one place. He could see them all, and they could see him. He could hear them all, and they could hear him. And they could talk back and forth. So we had a praise team, praise and worship. Israel Houghton was on stage.
Yes.
And we had music going, blah, 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 everything was great. And then we get to a point, this is a $200,000 moment. The band was and unveiled, and we had it going. And then at the end of the 2-hour period, we had raised $3 million in 2 hours.
Come on.
So don't tell me what the kingdom can do.
Me too. Yes.
What it is, we need willful participants in the process to be able to understand that this current platform that God has brought forth would allow us to be able to finance any vision for any kingdompreneur. You don't have to wonder how it's going to get financed. You come and get to the platform, get with the planners on the platform, bring forth your vision, and allow your vision to be moved into the marketplace so that it can provide for you, so that you can again return that reciprocal process and continue the momentum. What we do a lot of time, we get ours. The old saying Grandma used to say, we get all we can all we can, and we sit on the rest.
Wow.
We got to stop doing that. We got to understand that the process of sowing and reaping is the reciprocal process that would allow any vision to be completely funded within itself, within the kingdom. There's no shortage.
Jeez.
There's no shortage. It's mismanagement. I say it all the time.
Mismanagement.
Businesses don't fail because of the lack of resources. They fail because of the lack of infrastructure and commitment to that infrastructure. It's the discipline process. We want to spend it all. No, let's invest, because wealthy people, rich people, people that build legacy wealth, they invest. And if they spend it as an investment to get a return even on that. So we have to change our mindsets. You must be born again.
You must be born again.
Your own thinking won't get you where you need to go. It won't get you there. We have to make some shift in the way we think. We have to think different. I have this process that I use called critical thinking. Critical thinking. Critical thinking has these components. It has reasoning, it has evaluating, and analyzing. When you deploy those to any issue that you have, you'll be able to make decisions and solve problems. Just by those simple process, I use it in everything. So when you pick up the phone, I start from listening to what you said. I'm gonna listen to everything you have to say. I'm evaluating what you're saying, what tone you're saying it in. I'm analyzing the things that you're saying. So I'm reasoning why it happened. Now at the end of the day, I'll be able to help you solve a problem and make decisions. It wasn't me that did that. It was the information that you gave me that allowed me to formulate where you are in this process.
Yeah.
So the person that gets the information given to them have a responsibility to be able to take that information, put it through a process, and give it back to the one that brought it. We this is where we fall short. We won't take it for ourselves. That sounds like a good idea. I'm not going to give them an answer. I'm going to retool that thing and
Come
put my
on.
name on it.
Come on.
They came to you for consultation because they were at a point in vision that God had breathed into them. Instead of you helping them further that, you steal it, put your name on it.
You
Judge,
took
you doctor this, and you call it yours. But you missed the great opportunity. The great opportunity was to take your wisdom, put with that, and allow it to be able to move forward to get to a place of better. We miss it when we don't
Yes,
do it that way.
we miss it.
We forfeit momentum when we do
Yes.
it because we had to start over again.
Yeah. That is so powerful. When we get to the understanding of knowing that these opportunities are before us, and we're talking to artists, speakers, preachers, pastors, whatever your role is in the kingdom, rethink it. Rethink how you've been doing ministry and find yourself in this digital space. I think that's the pivot of where we go, how we learn to monetize those opportunities. And as Mar said earlier, KingCast gives you that opportunity to do that. We're not just here on Facebook. You're watching us live here on Facebook or YouTube, but our digital space is on Amazon, it's on Roku, it's on Apple TV, it's on Android TV, and we have our own web app, which is kingcast.tv. You also have the ability to get it on your mobile devices. Download the app on your mobile devices so that you can track and trace what we're doing. But that network, whoever you are, whatever you do, can have that digital content so that you can share it with your audience. And the free information that you're sharing on Facebook, all that valuable information, you can start having a monetization from that and build legacy and scale your business, because now you're adding value more than just sharing free information that you can't measure. So with that being said, you have done that. I love when I have guests on that they not only tell you are they the expert by words, but they also are the expert by deeds. You have created your own platform and you're bringing your network to KingCast, and that is Reboot Your Life. Tell us about Reboot Your Life, how long you've been doing it, and how people can connect with you on it.
Reboot Your Life is a platform that has been developed, designed, and dedicated to share information and insight in such a way that calls us to believe deeper, calls us to think deeper, calls us to speak words that would form the habit, that would produce the actions that get us to the more. We're all after better. We're all after trying to get more out of life. But if we don't believe that we can, we won't think that we can. If we don't think that we can, we won't say that we can. And then if we don't say it, we won't do it. And we'll find ourselves in this hamster wheel going round and round and round and round, starting, stopping, starting, stopping. So Reboot Your Life, I come from this mindset of the computer. There's things that runs in the background of your computer that use resources that has zero to do with what you're doing right now, the task that you're doing right now. Has nothing to do with it, but it's still using resources. And unless you bring up the task manager to be able to see what's running in the background, you won't know to stop it. Our lives are the same way. We don't have the centralized focus of energy going towards the things that we're working on right now because we're scattered all over the place. The computer has a process called defragmentation. Allow you to put things back where they were, so when the computer needs it again, it knows just where to go to get it. It don't have to search the whole computer to get to what you're really working on. And likewise, our lives are the same way. We have life beats us up. So Reboot Your Life every morning at 5:30 right now, Monday through Fridays, Central Standard Time. You can catch us. And it's about 10 minutes. Sometimes we may go 12, 15, depending if I get excited. And But We're working through a process that would allow all of us to be able to understand how important it is to think better, how
Yes.
important it is to believe that that we can do these things, to remove the doubt and fear that we have to be able to move forward. So we're working now. We just come out of halftime. The first 6 months were the first 2 quarters, and now we just come out of halftime, and we just tip the ball off again, and we're in a position now to be able to move forward and close out this year strong. That's why I encourage you to connect with KingCast. It's not too late. You want to do that now. You want to connect with, I got a business I got to do. Listen, let me tell you something. Don't stand over there by yourself. The train still have room. Soon it won't have room, but
Yes.
right now it has room for you to get on. If you have a concept, you're a music artist, and I always wanted to do a workshop on this, and
Yeah.
I wanted to be able to. And then listen, contact KingCast, do that, and then allow the team at KingCast to put together a workshop for you on your own platform. So you'll do that workshop one time, and that workshop will feed you all night, all day. It'll have residual connected to you, and you can refresh that content because it's your network. You can be able to move forward. So the people that missed it can still get it because it's on demand. It's still available on your network. They can subscribe to your channel to create the residual wealth that you're looking for, to be able to have that thing moving towards you. You got to do that. So that's what Reboot Your Life talk about. How do we maximize the area of our thought life? How do we get forward? Because we're on the movement to better. We're intending to get to a better place. And the way that we get there is making sure that we do the things that count. Do the things that count.
Wow.
This morning we talked about setting goals that matter.
Yes.
Setting goals that matter. Identifying the goal. Making sure that you qualify the goal. And then maximize the goal in the marketplace. That's where we are. You get that every morning, 7 days a week. Been doing it now for about 2 years. And the reason why I won't stop, my mom, Ethel Parsons, on my visit to her, yep, I knew I shouldn't do that.
Yes.
One day on my visit to her, I would go there when she was in her last days, and I would lay in the bed with her. Yeah, 60 years old, lay in the bed with your mom. You want to try that if you ain't tried it. Yeah, you got some transfer take place there. You can't get no other way. So I'm laying there with her, and she told me, she said, Mars, that thing that you do in the morning time, make me a promise that you'll never stop.
Wow.
She said, it blesses people because people need to hear that they can do better.
Yes.
I said, Mom, you got a promise. So it doesn't matter where I am, what I'm doing, I'm going to get it. That's a part of it. I made you a promise.
Yes.
Won't break it.
Yeah.
Reboot your life. Won't you do that if you will? Hashtag just do that.
Let's do that. One of my favorite things about when I first heard you start talking about Reboot Your Life, it was being able to hit Control, Alt, Delete. And coming from the Wang, I don't know if you can remember the Wang, but sure you can remember the Wang. One of the first processes that I actually learned on. And that was one of the key things. You mess up, something go wrong, it won't boot up properly. You just hit Control, Alt, Delete. And applying that to life, sometimes you have to reset, you have to reboot, and you have that opportunity. As long as you have breath in your body, that computer still has power. You can hit Control, Alt, Delete, and reboot your life. So thank you so much, Chief, for being with me on today. This has been an amazing conversation. I look forward to Reboot Your Life Network coming on KingCast and being a part of that. While you were speaking, a name came to my mind of someone in this very city that's very prominent in the music industry that needs our platform. I'll tell you his name offline, but I'm telling you, this platform is for every person that has any type of content training that they want to present to the world, and that they want to create their own paycheck. We had our very first payout this year. And as a business owner, I was so pleased to be able to do that to the people who were connected to this particular platform. So thank you for being our mentor and our coach. And I say ours, I'm talking about me and the prayers. What you have invested in and spoken to our life is priceless. We're better because you have made that investment into us. And so we thank you. And tell us now, before we close, how people can contact you, get connected with you, or if they want you to come and speak or come fix their audio or come, consult with them. How can they reach you?
Well, the simple way is you can call me direct. I'll answer my phone at 713-398-0084. You put your phone out there for everybody. Yeah, they got it anyway. We didn't get into that, but that's part of that whole digital maturity thing. You compete for control. They already have it already, so don't worry about it. 713-398-0084. You can go there. You go to Morris Parsons on Facebook, Reboot Your Life on Facebook. You can connect with me there. 713-398-0084 is the number. So certainly do give me a call. I work with small groups. I develop teams. I help people build relationship with the people that you already have. The assets you have probably is enough to move you to the next place. And it's certainly enough to attract the people that you need to help you move.
Yes.
It's just setting it in order so that it can be attractive enough so people can connect with it and move forward. So don't shy away. Give me a call. I'd certainly come out and meet with you. I'm fully vaccinated. I got my card.
You got proof.
I got proof. I carry my card, Doc. I'll put that thing out there. Say, listen, I got my stuff.
Yeah.
So I want to encourage you, all of you that are out there, do connect with King Cash. Don't allow it to say, I remember when it first started. Don't do that. Don't make that mistake. We often make that mistake. We often do that. And we watch on the sideline. Get involved, get connected, dial the number, connect with King Cash, message them. Don't you make the decision that you don't have what it takes. Give them a call and let them do an assessment. You may have more than what you think you have. Just give them a call. It doesn't cost you anything to make the phone call and talk to the team there and allow King Cash to do an assessment on what you have. If you don't have all you need, allow them to at least make the assessment to tell you, okay, if you do these things, you're ready. You can move forward. Don't stay on the sideline. There's so many people that went and took their wealth to the graveyard with them, and no one can benefit from that. Your legacy suffers when you don't do what needs to be done right now. Now is that the word? Now. Don't be procrastinating now. You got to move now. I'm going to challenge someone right now. There are people that's on here, Michelle, that'll see this later.
Yes.
And you'll understand. I'm challenging you right now. I don't know who you are, young man, young lady, a pastor, bishop, doctor. I don't know who you are. That you've been sitting in your office wanting an opportunity to get into the marketplace, to elevate what you do, because what you believe is that you have something that's beneficial to the kingdom. This is your carrier call to be able to tell you to connect with King Cash.
Yes.
Connect today with King Cash. Don't wait. Don't procrastinate. Connect today. If you connect today, you'll be able to make significant impact in the days to come. Do that.
Do that. Just do that. Thank you so much again. And guys, thank you for watching us today. We're grateful every time that you come and you stop by, you give us your time. We want to give you great content that'll be beneficial to you so that you can reboot your life. Go out, have an amazing day. God bless you.
Love